In the narrow corridors of the Kuroba Clinic, where fluorescent lights hummed overhead like an endless requiem, Dr. Saito stood poised at the threshold of room 314. A faint scent of disinfectant wafted through the air, mingling with the stench of stale sweat and anxiety that clung to every surface. Her gaze locked onto the figure slumped in a chair, head bowed as if surrendering to an unseen force. This was patient number 14,456,437, or at least, what remained of her after months of treatment under Dr. Saito's care. The once luminous eyes now seemed sunken and lifeless, like two extinguished candles in a perpetual twilight. As she entered the room, the soft click of the door latch was lost amidst the gentle rustle of papers being shuffled elsewhere in the clinic. Dr. Saito's eyes roamed over the sparse decor, a faded photograph of a family on the wall, a bedside table with a water glass and an empty medication tray. The patient stirred, her voice barely audible as she whispered, "It's been so long." Dr. Saito approached cautiously, her hands clasped behind her back to conceal the faint tremble that had become a constant companion since taking on this particular case. "Yes, it has," she replied, forcing a measured tone into her voice. The patient's gaze drifted upwards, and for an instant, Dr. Saito thought she saw something flicker in those vacant eyes, a spark of awareness, perhaps, or the faintest glimmer of recognition. But then the moment passed, leaving behind only the dull, almost mechanical smile that seemed to have become her default expression. Dr. Saito's thoughts drifted back to the initial consultation files, now stored deep within the clinic's archives, where patient number 14,456,437 had been admitted with a diagnosis of unspecified trauma and a history of fragmented memories. The more Dr. Saito delved into her treatment, the more she began to suspect that something was deliberately being erased, not just from the patient's mind, but from their very existence. The soft beeping of the cardiac monitor behind her seemed to synchronize with the pounding in Dr. Saito's chest as she watched the patient's eyes begin to glaze over once more. It was a sight she had grown all too familiar with, one that hinted at an unseen force, a silent puppeteer manipulating the strings of this fragile life from behind the scenes. With each passing day, Dr. Saito found herself torn between her duty as a healer and the creeping suspicion that she might be complicit in something far more sinister. The lines between reality and treatment began to blur, leaving only the faintest whispers of what once was, whispers that grew louder with every tick of the clock. As she stood there, poised on the threshold between observation and action, Dr. Saito realized that room 314 had become a microcosm for an entire system, one where lives were shaped by rules and routines that defied all logic, yet remained eerily effective in their calculated cruelty. And it was here, within these sterile walls, that she knew her own world would soon begin to unravel.